So next up, we've got a representation from Paula's team, actually. So we're talking about entrepreneurship, and are we being joined by Lauren and Paula? Lauren and Paul.
Yeah, so another Paul. Yeah, Lauren and Paul are going to join us. They're both enterprise advisors within the careers and enterprise team. So yeah, if we get them in, and then they can tell us a little bit about what they do and what entrepreneurship and enterprise means.
Fantastic. So welcome here, Lauren and Paul. Good to see you both.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to invite us. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, so thank you, obviously, for both coming in today. So as I've just mentioned, you obviously are part of my team, Careers and Enterprise, but we do different jobs. So I'm obviously careers consultant and you guys are enterprise consultants. So would you be able to tell us a little bit about what you do? So what is a day in the life, I guess, of an enterprise advisor here at Salford?
Lauren, I'll go after you. Do you want to start?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, so I'm Lauren Adams, and myself and Paul share the same job title, so we're both enterprise advisors. So it's a lot to do around business startup and enterprise skills for our students and graduates. So we do that through one-to-ones. We also have masterclasses, and we have additional things that we do alongside that. We have like startup visa, and we have travel awards as well that we can offer people. But it is about getting those skills over to our students and graduates to help them if they were potentially looking at self-employment or wanting to develop their enterprise skills further.
Yeah, but we also go into courses and deliver some bespoke sessions. So sometimes if a course is running a business module, we might have some input into that. And we also, like Lauren's touched on, we get quite involved with the launch program, which is the university's dedicated business incubator unit. So we run some joint initiatives with them. So where we get some funding for, say, short-term competitions, that kind of thing, then we might run some kind of shorter-term initiatives to give people a bit of a taster about developing those enterprise skills.
Thanks, both. So I suppose if we're thinking about business and enterprise, I think a lot of people just assume that would be, maybe the business school that would deal with that. And actually, we've got, 4 different schools here and, lots of different specialisms. Do you see that you get involvement, or is there opportunities for students from all areas of our curriculum? What do you think, Lauren?
Yes, totally. I think, enterprise as a term, you generally think of, business startup, business school, but no, it is totally open to all courses, all areas of study. Anybody can sort of have a look at, maybe they have an idea. It could be related to their course. It might be something outside of their course that they want to pursue. It might just be that they've had an idea. So it's absolutely open to everybody. And those skills around enterprise as well can be developed by anybody. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you want to start your own business. They could be enterprise skills are also really wanted by employers as well. So it might be skills you take back into an organisation as well.
Thanks. And actually, I think it might be worthwhile just explaining, and Paul, maybe you could do this, but what actually is enterprise? Because I think a lot of people hear the terms, don't they, careers and enterprise, but don't really know what enterprise means.
Well, it's all about spotting an opportunity, whether it's through a gap in a market, or maybe there might be a demand for a particular type of service, or there might be a need in a community for some kind of deliverable initiative. It might be, so it could be a social enterprise. It could be distributing food or training within a community. So it could be publicly funded, or it could be a not-for-profit organisation or a charity. It could be a short-term project, or it could just be someone working for themselves. It might be that someone, if you go to a gym, your personal trainer down the gym, they're likely to be self-employed, and they will have to develop those enterprising skills. So in whatever sector, whether it's large or small scale, or public or private or not-for-profit, they're all environments where enterprise skills are really important. Like Lauren touched on, it's not just being enterprise, going out and selling things into a market. It's developing what we call entrepreneurial skills, whereby it might be someone working for a health trust, for example, can see a need for a new service or a new type of delivery, and then they spot that need, and then they go about figuring out how they can deliver that and improving the delivery or distribution of maybe a new service or a new technology. That they're all kind of enterprise examples.
Yeah, thanks. And I suppose if somebody had an idea, so you've just mentioned there, potentially they see a gap and they think, oh, I've got this idea. What would they do next? What would the next step be if somebody, I think some students may feel a bit, oh, I don't know if it's a good enough idea, or, is it something that would be viable? How would they sort of move that forward then?
Well, I think in the first instance, I'd recommend that they come to us and set up a one-to-one appointment with Lauren and myself, and they can book that through Advantage for themselves. And it's a 45-minute appointment. We can talk about anything that someone likes. So it might be that they've got maybe 2 or 3 ideas and they want to kind of run them by and talk together with someone and just kind of sound someone out, which is great. Or it might be that they then want to kind of take it forward and talk about how to develop it, how to research it, that kind of thing. But in the first instance, I'd say book that one-to-one enterprise appointment. And then I can see Lauren's just put a link in to book that for any student. And then it's a case of after that appointment, we can signpost you to maybe some resources on LinkedIn, get you booked onto a couple of the live masterclasses with live questions and answers afterwards, a bit like this one. And then maybe continue that with a series of meetings to get the initial idea ready to test, research and test, and then kind of get it ready to launch. Basically, we can take you right the way through that journey.
Sounds brilliant. That's really good. And
yeah.
I suppose, can they try that out? So if they came to you and they got that support, and then they thought, right, actually, I might just want to see if it works before I fully commit. Is there any way, Lauren, of them being able to do that?
Yeah, well, sometimes we have small awards that we can give away as well, so that people can potentially, do some sort of test trading, at minimal risk themselves. We've also, a great thing to go on to when you get to the point where, you're ready to sort of start that business, is to also have a look at the university's launch incubator, because that's also a really good place where you get a whole host of further additional 6 months of support, and you're surrounded by people who are also at that very early startup stage of their journey, and so you get a lot of mentoring and also all the additional support into making those next steps, so you can try it out that way as well. We also have an Actus as well, which I don't know, Paul, if you're gonna touch on, but an Actus, which is a student society as well. I'll let you maybe say a bit about an Actus, Paul, as a way of maybe trying out those enterprise skills.
Yeah, the Enactus is one of the societies that I know Ade touched on earlier, and I'm the actual enterprise advisor for the Enactus Society. The Enactus are a global organisation with, and it's their goal to develop the leaders of the future. Particularly with regard to public projects and projects particularly tied to the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So it might be that each university, and there's probably a large proportion of universities throughout the UK have an Enactus Society, and they might get involved in some local projects. So our Enactus Society, for example, they won an award for the most improved Enactus Society in the country this year, which was great. And that was off the back of a new project they launched, which is all about combating period poverty and stigma within schools, secondary and primary schools and junior schools. So it's an opportunity for someone to get involved in a project like that. And it could be in the capacity of a project leader. It could be someone in the finances side, someone in recruitment, or in an HR role, or increasingly with our society, there's a great focus on digital communication and web design and development. And there are other initiatives coming up that might be international. Some of them will be local. So if you've got a particular kind of skill set or a particular interest, whether it's in project management or communication or or it might be a particular issue that you're really passionate about. Enact is a great supportive society to join, and you can test out those ideas and develop those skills in a safe and sociable environment. So they're a really terrific society to join. And they meet every Wednesday evening, and it's a really nice, sociable, supportive society as well as doing some really good work with that benefits a lot of people.
I think perhaps related to what you were just saying, Paul, the summer period is perhaps a moment where, well, not a moment, but a time period where students get the opportunity to perhaps explore some of these ideas that they haven't had the time to do so through the. So is this society up and running through the summer, or can you tell us a little bit about other things that might be available for students to get involved with over the summer?
Yeah, so the Enact Society will be very active this summer, particularly in terms of recruitment. They've got a recruitment target to get new people on board, and there are a couple of key positions, kind of high up in the Salford Society, open to be filled. So they're looking to recruit for those roles, and there's a great opportunity to get involved in some of the outreach activity and the marketing activity, and then even come and suggest some new projects. So like I say, right throughout the summer, they're meeting every week, and there are going to be some live events that they'll be running and attending. I think they're going to go and see some TED Talks, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a mixture of on and offline activity. So that's a really good society to join. And then if it's kind of enterprise skills in general that you're looking to develop, it might be that you've got an idea and you want to start talking it through. In which case, I'd say just book a one-to-one enterprise appointment. We can talk through your timescales, and it might be that this summer period is a great opportunity for you to do a bit of market research and a bit of testing and a bit of kind of learning up on some resources, in which case it's a really good time to do that now. Start talking to us. Let's start getting a plan together and talk about your schedule, because you might have a little bit more time now, so that when it comes to September and more live events are happening, you're kind of well positioned and you've got a good idea about what exactly it is you want to do.
Yeah. And can I just add on to that if anybody is maybe starting to think of starting a business or look into it in a bit more detail, we've got a startup school, so a 1-day event on Wednesday the 7th of July, and it's a day designed for anyone thinking of starting a part-time business. And so on the day we'll have sessions from myself and Paul. We've also got guest speakers who are at the very beginning of their startup journey, and we've also got a Q&A panel. So it's always great to hear about from other people that are, at the beginning of that journey, and hear about their hints and tips and lessons learned. And it's just good to, get inspired as well. If you are potentially thinking about it, you can come along, and just hear what everyone's got to say, and hopefully it'll give you a bit more steer as well if you are thinking about it.
Well, I, for one, wouldn't mind an additional income. Is this event open to staff as well?
It is, yeah.
You might find me there then. I don't have an idea yet, but
we can work on the idea.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I wonder if I could just ask as well, because I think that in the previous sessions we've had lots of conversations about students talking to academic staff members, and I guess it's great also to think about how you can start a conversation working with an academic to see if you can develop something together, and that may be a good route into developing a project team perhaps. Paul, I wonder what your experience of that has been.
Yeah, well, on various courses where we go in and we do some bespoke delivery, we tend to find that it might fit in with a particular module for a particular course. So, for example, I was involved with the School of Podiatry, where they had quite there's a focus there on getting people to set up new businesses, not just say a traditional practice, but also it might be something to do with some new technology or some new processes involved in quite a fast-moving high-tech sector. I mean, where they're looking to identify opportunities for people to progress their careers in different non-traditional avenues. So there was quite a robust business planning module in the final year. So we got involved in in creating some of the toolkits for those people, some of the templates and resources, and some of the assessment as well. And I can see that happening in the School of Arts and Media increasingly as well, because it's traditionally there are a lot of people who work freelance in that sector. So we get involved with kind of getting people set up as freelancers and giving them the tools, whether they're cash flow templates or planning tools, that kind of thing, to help get them set up and minimize those kind of risks when they're starting out. And I think that's the kind of thing that you can see working across all the schools. If someone might start working as a private practitioner, well, we're actually starting to do that, maybe just through a LinkedIn channel and doing a little bit of freelance work whilst you're still studying. It's a great way to do that whilst you're not reliant on it as your sole income. So I think a lot of people are starting to see the benefit of that and starting to do that as a sideline.
One question related to what you were just saying, Paul. So let's say that there is a novel business idea. So you touched upon the podiatry, and we're talking about perhaps novel products. So is there support there, or are there systems or ways of connecting and getting the advice for intellectual property rights and patenting and that sort of thing?
Yeah. So if we start off with a one-to-one enterprise appointment and that's a particular issue, then Laurel and myself would look to provide you with some links and signpost you to get some more information on that resource. If it's something whereby you think, well, yes, I want this to go live and I'm going to plan to launch this for a particular date, then we'd normally help someone get ready to pitch to join the launch program. And that tends to run in biannual cohorts of around 25 people. So there's an intake in February and there's another intake in October. So if someone came to us now and they wanted to launch around the October time, it wouldn't have to be precisely, it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. We'd say, well, that's a really good supportive program to join, because you'll go in for 3 months. You get access to a physical space, like an incubator unit with hot desking and reception area and breakout rooms. But also you'll attend one morning's training every week for a 3-month period. So you'll get legal advice from people in the law school, also financial advice from other academics there. So if I was launching an enterprise at the university, I'd be looking to launch with the launch program. I did it when I was at university, but I didn't have the benefit of that, and it's a really golden opportunity to do that whilst you're at university and have access to all of that support. And you also get the opportunity to pitch for some funding as well that's not accessible to people external to the launch program. So if it's right for you, then Lauren and I will recommend that you try and get on that, and we'll help you to get ready to join the program.
Fantastic.
Oh, thanks, Paul and Lauren. I mean, there's so much support available, isn't there? I think what my sort of takeaway from that is that just don't sort of be shy about it, really. If you've got an idea, come and have a chat about it and explore that with somebody in detail. And then obviously there's so much then that you can direct them into for support to be able to nurture that idea and bring it to the market, really. We've got a session this afternoon coming up from yourselves, a YB Enterprising session, which is running 3:30 today on Collaborate for students to book onto. Lauren, would you just be able to tell us a little bit more about what that session would cover?
Yeah, so as you said, Paul, like, it can sometimes be quite daunting if you have got an idea, or if you're thinking about, looking at maybe starting a business. So, come along to that session at 3:30. I'll go through in more detail about the support on offer from myself and Paul and the ways in which you can get involved. And I'll also take you through like the first steps that you would sort of be needing to go through if you were looking to make your idea into reality. So, things like market research, a bit on finances as well. So we'll give you, a bit of the basics in which you can then go away and have a little bit more of a think. And just to also, I'm sure you might have said this already, Paula, but if you are sort of thinking of, starting a business, but you don't think right now is the right time, our service as graduates is open to you for life as well. So you can come back at any point and have a chat with me or Paul, or engage in any of the enterprise activities as well. So, sometimes, that idea takes time to develop, so you can come back later on. But yeah, do join me at 3:30. It'd be lovely to see you all there.
Great, thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here, and it's been great to get. I've learned a lot of many things. It's been fantastic to hear how much you do and how much support there is for collaboration and investment. So thank you very much for joining us, and good luck for this afternoon session.
Thanks, everyone.
All right,
Pleasure.
take care. Bye-bye.
Bye now.